If you just did yoga and animal flow, you'd be the toughest, strongest, most flexible, most capable son of a gun you've ever been in your life.
I think one of the greatest benefits of it is the mental, because so much of what they talk about now is if you want to stave off dementia and Alzheimer's and all those things that are just knocking at your door, Tony, I know. You do those things where you're connecting your mind and your body in ways that you haven't before. That's going to keep your mind young, which is one of the most important things as you get older as well. It's not about motivation, because you're never going to be always motivated, but it's about discipline.
So, Michael, let's get into why the heck we're here. I'm talking to you, buddy, boy. So for some reason, I don't know, you're remotely popular on the Power Nation platform. I don't get it, but whatever. You're somewhat
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. It's a mystery. I think somebody's paying Shauna off to premiere you more. I don't know what's going on. But no, I mean, honestly, I'm really proud of what you've done here. The brand new one, everybody. I'm not sure if you're aware of the brand new one. It's called Primal Revolution, and it used to be Primal Evolution and Primal Method. And the next one's going to be Primal Solution.
Wow, that's not bad.
Thank you. I'm thinking of the future, my friend.
Yeah.
And so, dude, there's 12 workouts. I don't even, how did we shoot 12 workouts in such a short period of time? That's probably why you blew out your bicep. You just were doing too much.
Well, that's a good question, because the first day I think we only got 2 in, so we really had to crunch to get the others, because I think a couple of them took about 4 to 5 days to shoot. So,
well, we were rookies back in the day. We know what we're doing now. So you have 3 30-day, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm getting all my facts straight. 3 30-day calendars, 5 different worksheets. So, you know, I mean, between revolution, solution, emancipation, proclamation, and method, there's a lot of combos, man. No one's going to walk down the street normally anymore in this crew that does this. It's just going to be like in Crab or Frogger or Predator or Beast or something, Bear, because people are on their hands and knees and feet because of you. So what I guess I'm done rambling, and I'm just going to ask you kind of what makes this unique. Talk about the series maybe a little bit, all 3 of them, and why each one is different from the other. Why you're such a big animal flow aficionado and fan. That would be kind of, I mean, you know, you're the one that's got me doing it, which it was off my radar for the longest time. And then talk about I got the names here in front of me. I got upper stuff, push to pull, guns and armor, lower lightning, rock and bottom, unleash the beast, primal arts, monkey business, children of the core. Oh my God.
That was a good one. That was a creation of Garrett and I.
Yeah. Bendy beasts, rehab, genius, and then primal breath. So whatever you want to talk about, man. Ready, set, go.
All right. Well, let's dive in. So this is the 3rd one, and in my mindset, I wanted to like sort of do like a trilogy. So this would be like the end of the trilogy, and then whatever happens after this is a new beginning. I don't want to be like Pixar and Disney, where they have Land Before Time 28. I don't even know if Land Before Time is a Disney movie, but anyways, they just keep on doing sequels. But this one, I was really excited because Shauna, and I'm sure I just heard from Shauna, but you guys gave me the opportunity to make 12 workouts for a 3-month program, which was really exciting to me, because you're able to, like, lots of the time with these Power Nation programs, just because of the brevity of how many workouts we can do and all that jazz, it's hard to get everything in, kind of sort of thing. So I was really excited to get like a lower body strength, where it's kind of a slow grind, where you're at your own pace, doing your own reps, no timer, all that jazz. And then kind of more of a sports performance, high intensity, lower body. So all of those things that usually kind of have to pick and choose. This one kind of has all those things, which I had a lot of fun putting together. And they kind of build on each other. So this might have a few moves that it might be good for you to have done Primal Method or Primal Evolution first, just because it kind of builds up. But yeah, I think that we kind of more or less grasped something that can be good for everybody, because we got power down moves and we got power up moves, and we got a wide range of cast members that are good as always. Tony's in just one of them, I think. Just one, right? Are you in one or two? I don't know. But
Thought I
you're
was
in
in
you're in
two.
some of the pull-ups. I know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think I was in two of them, but it was a
Okay.
long time ago. I've forgotten already, but
Yeah, it's ages ago. But I
yes.
had a lot of fun doing the martial arts stuff as well, which was really good time with Carson, who's a pro boxer,
Yeah.
and Max,
She
who's
was
a
a
pro
great cast
dancer.
member. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
A lot
So
of people are going to get to see Carson for the first time. She's an amazing acquisition to to our our casts. We'll have her back too for more for sure. Yeah.
and we got some repeat. We got like Kim, she's back from more, from last time, and Max is in a bunch of them. So
Yeah.
if you don't like me but you like the other cast members, there's chances for you to enjoy the workout
Yeah.
without just look past me.
We'll
I know
just
it's hard because I'm huge, just massive, but
yeah. Well, you
you
used to
know.
be. Now you're a frail man.
I got one little tiny arm and
No, not like yes.
one
Your
bigger arm.
surgeon did a great job, dude. You did a really good job with that arm. Um, so what anything else you wanna that's anything else? And then we can have people kind of ask questions.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
we're giving
I like the we kind of tried to split it up so each month gets harder. So I think that's sort of a natural thing to do. But so month one, if you're really fit, you might be wanting more, which is totally fine if you want to throw in some extra. And then month two gets a little bit tougher. And then month three, you're doing some 2-a-day stuff. I think you're doing some 2-a-day stuff in month two as well. So it kind of progresses on. So you're going to be challenged with new workouts and with extra workouts as the program proceeds. So by the time summer hits and you're done with the program, you should be ready for any beach in the continental US and maybe even Europe, you know. So
what about Saint Tropez? Would they be ready for that one?
well, do they have nude beaches in Saint Tropez, or is it
Mm.
no?
What about
I mean,
like
yeah.
Honolulu Bay? I think would be a nice.
Okay. You could do that for
All
sure.
right. Great.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. You can't go to the beach here because it's all toxic waste going down into the Santa Monica Bay. So you stay away from Malibu for a while. I think it's a little funky here, but you'll look great. You don't have to go in the water.
Yeah.
Anything else, Michael, from you, buddy boy?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess I could say more, but this one's got kind of a mix of kind of what we've done throughout all the programs. So you got some breathing, you got some stretching. I love the stretch. I had a lot of help with that one from Spencer, your buddy,
Yeah.
who's a stretch man. And so I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and then I ran all these ideas past him, and he's like, "That's a great idea. Let's try this instead because it's a better idea." So
Yeah.
I think you guys are really going to like that one, and that's put in like the middle of the week, kind of like a yoga trend. I mean, it's not yoga, but it's a kind of a break from the intensity stuff. And then you're doing 7 days a week because you got your breathing as well, at least one day a week. So yeah, so you're going to be busy, but it's going to be a wide range of cardiovascular activity, strength building, mobility, flexibility, skill work. We still got the animal movement stuff in there as well, and some new moves. And so you should have a good time. Should be fun. If not, then I'm sorry. We also got super cool t-shirts for you, which I'm sporting right now. So this is ready for you online. You can go and purchase it, and I did Primal Revolution because of the PR, kind of like the PE, physical education, but this one's like a personal record, like my PR on the bench or whatever. So I thought it was kind of a cute play on words. But yeah, so those are also available to you if you want to buy a Primal Revolution t-shirt.
Where does someone purchase said t-shirt, my friend?
So I believe there's going to be a link on the end of the workouts. There'll be a link that you can click on, or a QR code you can scan with your phone, and that should send you. So you have a t-shirt and a tank top and another tank top in a variety of colors. So you can kind of pick and choose what you're interested in.
And when you guys and gals do these routines, you'll see them in the workouts, which is a little, which is great. And we're getting sophisticated here. We have links at the bottom of workouts to purchase shirts. Like this is we're like Amazon, but not as gross. The one thing too that I want to say to everybody in regards to Michael, not this program, not only this program, but all of them, is like every time I watch Michael come here and we kind of do go through our rehearsals and look at what he's created. I mean, you'd think by now, by 2025, we've come up with enough different ways to do different things physically. But Michael, you truly are cutting edge. Like there were some movements that I had never, ever, ever seen before. And I don't know who you're stealing them from, but and also your cueing is spot on, your sequencing is spot on, the time you take between moves is spot on. I think that's the reason why you rise to the top. And what's interesting too about all of you that are here looking in, we've got some feedback. Obviously, people come on and say this, that, and the other about whatever they're doing. Is they're saying that a lot of the other routines, are getting too easy. So everybody's going to your stuff because I guess you're all getting freakishly strong, which is really really great. And the one thing too that we're going to be doing, I think shortly, and Mary might have an answer. If she doesn't just yet, that's fine too. But we're looking at going onto the website and rating different programs, beginner, intermediate, and expert or harder, kind of like you would on a ski hill, right? You got the green, blue, black, double black. I don't know how we're going to rate them, but that way, when you kind of get involved, you can go, all right, this is a beginner program. I'm just starting out again. I think that's where I want to play. Or, hey, man, I've been doing Tony Horton stuff since the early 1920s. I'm a beast. I want the hard stuff. So look for those soon. And I don't know how we're going to rate yours, Michael, but yeah, so that'll be kind of cool. Anyway, anybody have any questions?
I've been seeing a few questions on my chat.
Oh, good.
I'm just on my phone though, so it's hard for me to see everything at once. So it's not like I have a big computer screen.
Well, yeah, I've got something here, and it's interesting, because you and I and everybody, a lot of the people here have been so involved with Power Nation for so long. You talk animal flow or animal movements or whatever. You assume that everybody's kind of done one of yours, and I've got Marlene here says, "What do you mean by animal movements? This workout is new for me. I'm only familiar with P90X, X2, and 3 workouts." So that's a great question, Marlene. Thank you. So, Michael, tell us what they are and why you got involved, like how you fell into that. Of course, you're doing parkour and different things. You do some ninja as well. Talk about animal movements, animal flow. What are the advantages? Why is it different, and why you fell in love with it?
All right. Well, that's a big question. Animal movements are where you basically mimic different animal movement patterns, right? So you have like your ape pattern, or you're like a bear or a beast or a crab. So you probably done those things as a kid. I think they're really cool because you have fascial lines. If you know what your fascia is, it's like it's basically your body's rubber band. So and they have fascial lines from the top of your head, and they kind of crisscross across your body all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. So you're basically one big rubber band. And if we didn't have these fascial lines like connecting our body, we just sort of like roll in on ourselves. And so really what a lot of the things that we do aren't necessarily because of our muscles, but even more so kind of involve our fascial tissue and the elasticity of our body. And so one of the really cool things about animal movements is because you're very often, pretty much all the time, on all fours, so on your hands and on your feet at the same time, you're able to connect these fascial lines from my right hand to my left foot, from my left hand to my right foot. So you're able to connect these patterns, full body connection, that not only enables you to get like stronger, but it's also a lot of coordination and mobility things that we just lose, as we get older. If you watch a 6-year-old, playing in the backyard, they're going to be crawling around like an animal. They're going to be squatting with their butt to the ground. They're going to be moving around like a monkey, whatever it may be. They can do it so easy. But when you're 45 years old and you haven't done that for 40 years, it ain't so easy no more. And you've lost a lot of mobility, and you've lost a lot of strength in those like full body fascial lines, and just connecting right to left, and connecting hands and feet, all that stuff. So pretty much all of those reasons, I think it's really cool. And it's like nothing else too. It's really not, you could kind of compare it to yoga sort of, but not totally. But afterwards you feel like, when you finish a yoga class and you're just like, I am whole again. You feel a kind of a sense of peace and centeredness. You can feel that same experience and connection with your body with these animal movements, but with a lot more intensity, but also without the what's the impact of, like, you know, doing plyometrics. You feel the muscle burn, you feel your muscles working, but you're not beating up your joints. You actually feel your joints actually feel better by the time you finish a workout. So if you can get past kind of the idea of I don't want to crawl around like a monkey, which it is kind of challenging if you haven't done that stuff since you were 6 years old, then you could start to see the benefits of, wow, this is actually really good for me, and I feel really good, and I'm getting stronger, and I'm getting more flexible, and I'm getting more coordinated, you know. So I could do things that I never could as a kid, and I'm, you know, 56 years old. So there's a few of those benefits right there that might be of interest to those that want to get better even though they're getting older.
Well, you know, the one thing I would add too, Michael, which is why I think, you know, animal flow, animal movements are so unique and so beneficial to anybody who is willing to go through the learning curve. Because much like with yoga, you know, I didn't know downward dog from Baddha Konasana, from Shavasana. You know, it took some time for me to figure out, and also it was, you know, incredibly difficult because I was lifting weights pretty much and going for runs and getting on a stationary bike. So, you know, yoga was a big switch for me. But like, you know, Mary was at my house yesterday and we did our Friday yoga session. And you know, I started out the Rusty Tin Man, and I finished Gumby's uncle, and it's just, you know, there's so many benefits. Like if you think about yoga, it's strength, it's flexibility, it's balance, and then it's learning how to be present. And what animal flow does is it sort of takes it to the next level because of a couple of things. Number one, the time under tension is throughout the entire session. You know, there's no kind of breaks where you're doing, you know, curls and the lower half of your body's not doing anything, your core's not doing anything. Time under tension is everywhere, and it's one constant compound movement. You know what I mean? And on top of that, I guess it's sort of the same thing, but there's uh, um, you know, time under tension, compound movements, and then there's the balance and coordination and the things that come from that. So, I mean, I think if for example, if you just did yoga and animal flow, you'd be the toughest, strongest, most flexible, most capable son of a gun you've ever been in your life. You know, it's kind of like dance in a way. You know, like you had Max in one of your workouts. Max is a professional dancer. And he did really well with it because of his coordination and his flexibility and his strength. So, but like anything else, you know, from the early days of Power 90 and P90X, it forces you to work on your weaknesses and learn how to do new things. And what I love about that is and of course, you know, is how you look the most important thing on your list. It shouldn't be. I mean, it's unfortunately on too many, it's at the top of too many people's lists, but it does change your physique. It really does truly improve your posture. It lengthens your muscles. It works your core without having to get on your back and do ABRX or anything else. It's pretty amazing. You know, really, really is amazing. And it's obviously for the, like, Marlene, you're new here to this, but people have been around for a while. I've fallen in love with Michael. I mean, he's got kind of a sense of humor. It's not really that. I guess it's fine. It's fine. Nothing great. Like mine, anyway.
Yeah, not as funny,
Not as
not as
or
old, not as funny.
not, not as old. You're right. Not as old. But no, Michael, I truly, dude, you are as good as anybody at your job as anyone I have ever met. You know, I mean, I like to play with you because you are my fake son. Um, but yeah, you know, really, we are so lucky to have you on the platform. You know, Sean and I just love and adore you, dude. You're just such a good guy, and you're
That's
incredibly
true.
fit, and you're so knowledgeable, and your cueing is really good. And I think that's the reason why you've risen to the top. You know, I mean, like Scotty Moe is great, and Chelsea's great, and the Lawrence brothers, people are really loving that one as well. And of course, Brian's got his take on everything as well. So there's a lot of great stuff on the platform. We're really proud of everybody, but we're excited for you too, dude, because you deliver. And I think anybody who's ready to jump on the bandwagon is going to dig it, you know. And Marlene, for example, maybe you wouldn't start here with Primal Revolution. You might want to start with Primal Method, the first one that Michael did, just to get introduced to some of these movements. It's, you know, it's more instructional based. Yeah. So that's all I got to
And
say.
one thing I want to add, along with the only reason I'm trying to get to the top is just to stay ahead of Brian is really all I care about. But
True.
so I'm not really worried about anybody else. But anyways, with the animal movement things, I think one of the greatest benefits of it is the mental, because so much of what they talk about now is if you want to stave off dementia and Alzheimer's and all those things that are just knocking at your door, Tony, I know. You do those things where you're connecting your mind and your body in ways that you haven't before. I mean, that's going to keep your mind young, which is one of the most important things as you get older as well, and as you're younger too. So don't forget the mind exercises as well.
Yeah. Well, and true, even though it's sort of hypertrophy, animal hypertrophy, because time under tension is all sort of constant, there's a cardiovascular element to it as well. And the higher the heart rate, the more oxygen that goes into the noggin, and more synapses are awakened, and more norepinephrine and dopamine and serotonin, brain-derived neurotropic factor. A lot of you heard me say that 15,000 times. Maybe one or two of you have never heard me say that. But I was on a podcast the other day. Actually, it was an interview with a national business rag, and we were talking a lot about that right there. John Rady's book Spark, and so Animal Flow and this program in particular, along with Michael's others, tap into everything this book talks about, the effects of physical activity on the brain. Because, if you've got a lot of peers that aren't exercising and maybe not eating right and smoking and drinking, and they're in their 60s and 70s, they're not probably climbing rocks and getting on their mountain bike and ripping, you know what I mean? Or going to Jackson Hole and joining me and, skiing down top to bottom from the tram all the way back down to the tram station. So, I would assume that a lot of you at this point understand that Michael's programs and all the programs on Power Nation are designed to help you live a longer, more interesting, more creative, more productive life. Where a lot of people in their late 40s, 50s, and 60s are sort of on the downswing. And we're trying to prevent that with what we're doing here. And Michael's programs are a perfect example of how to get there, how to really just feel awesome in your body and enjoy life more as you get older instead of having more problems, which is what most people suffer from. Yeah.
I have been informed by Mary that it's getting close to workout time. I don't know.
2 minutes.
2 minutos.
Time for one question. Anyone who's got a question? Mary, is that a question or are you just doing the thing? Anyone? Shell, on your birthday? Question? Wendy? Sean? Question? Sean?
Michael, will you be throwing up 60-pound dumbbells like they're paper clips like you did in Primal Evolution?
Probably. I can't remember. I know that in one workout I had the 75s a couple times. But, Tony's gym only goes up to 75. So don't think that that's my limit right there. If he had 275s, it would still be a joke for me, So
It's all
just kidding.
Weight for you.
No, mostly the only reason I get those big weights is just to try to flex on people that are actually working out in the video, whereas I'm standing there for 90% of it, and then I do one set, and
that's true. That's true. Everybody's running around killing themselves, and then you do a rep with the 75 and try to show off, dude.
And that's the only thing people remember, apparently, which is just fine with me. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, Michael, it is now 11:29. I'm going to just let you take it away. As far as being able to watch the workout, I'm assuming it just happens here, or do people have to go to another link? I don't know the answers. I don't know if
I don't know that either. I was going to ask whether we're switching or whether we're just continuing. So
Mary's got
you have to switch. There's another link that if you signed up, there's another link that came to you, so you got to switch.
Oh,
that
goodness.
link now.
What if they didn't sign up and they're excited and they want to do it last minute, Mary? Do you have a solution for those folks?
Then you go on the platform and you scroll down to live workouts and you click join.
Go, and if you're going to go to the program, the platform, what do you do? What do you look up? What do you look at? How do you? PowerNationFitness.com.org.
Your AI chat person said that it was the same link. So because I asked earlier, but
There you go.
now, fair.
See, what do I know?
But that's an AI person. You're a real person, May.
Right? There were 2 links set up, Michael. There were 2 links set up, and
Okay,
Those should be in your
I didn't get an
calendar.
email, but let me check my calendar to see if I can.
yep, it's in your calendar.
Let me
Yeah, it'd
see
be
if I can
unfortunate,
join.
Michael, if you can't get in. That would be.
Yeah, that would probably be a bummer. Okay, I think I have this. I think this is the workout link.
Oh,
So
good.
I don't know if I
Michael-
don't show up, then you guys can work out yourselves, I guess.
That'd be bad.
So, Michael, in 30 seconds or left, can you explain kind of what's coming in the next?
Yeah, so this isn't totally like what Primal Revolution will be like, but if and some of you probably know, a couple months ago I tore my bicep. I was deadlifting, and all of a sudden you'd think that a deadlift because your arms are straight. Anyways, tore my bicep. So I had surgery 6 weeks ago or so. So I've been doing a lot of one arm workouts. So I thought it'd be kind of cool because I know, when people get injured, they're like, well, I'm injured, I can't work out anymore. I didn't miss one day of exercise. I didn't miss one upper body routine. And I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying you can always figure out a way to exercise if you have determination. It's not about motivation. It's about It's not about, this is longer than you said. It's not about motivation because you're never going to be always motivated, but it's about discipline. It's about discipline. So if you're disciplined, you can make it happen even if you're not motivated. Sorry, big rant. But anyways, this is going to be a single dumbbell full body routine. I probably won't switch arms because this arm's still not fully functional, but I will make sure that you guys have the opportunity to switch arms. So.
Awesome. Well, all right, take it away, everybody. Enjoy. The one thing I will say, if this is new to you and you're a little bit scared, like, oh, who the heck is this? What are these animal movements? Then just do your best and forget the rest. Take breaks when you need them. Michael, are there any dumbbells required for this routine coming up?
Yeah, so you're gonna need a dumbbell. If you don't, you could definitely do something without a dumbbell. But if you have some kind of weight, we're gonna be basically using one dumbbell. You can change your weight, but one dumbbell for every exercise throughout the routine. So you just need one dumbbell, and you need the ground and gravity and support animal of some kind, emotional support animal, like Pinkerton would work.
Just Pinkerton up and down.
Yeah, you can lift up your cat.
You need ground, gravity. So if you're in the space station, it's gonna be tough. So
yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So are we looking like
bands.
medium weight, heavyweight, lightweight?
I would grab a light, medium, and heavy if you have the option. If not, go with a medium, and you can probably swing it all different, whatever we're doing. So.
And another approach too, Shell, would be, hey, look, these are different movements. The pace might be a little on the quick side. I always start, when I do something new, I always start on the light side and just if it feels too light, then you can make a switch. But I would start out with something on the light side.
And that's a good point, Tony. Actually, for the warm-up, since we are short on time and we're being shorter as I'm talking, our warm-up's going to be going through all the movements with no weight or very lightweight. So then you can kind of get an idea maybe what you need for once we start into we're going to do like 2 rounds. So it shouldn't be horrible, but it might be, a little traumatizing, just a little bit.
Well, thank you, Michael.
The link for the live workout is in the chat. I see it there.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Which one? I see a lot of link. Oh, that one. Power rehab programs, Primal Revolution. There it is. All right, everybody, enjoy.
Wow.
Michael, take it away, buddy.
Okay. I'll see you guys in a second.
Bye.
I'm glad that you've really enjoyed this interview. I can tell because you're watching it, because I can see you. Anyway, since you're here, I know you're really going to fall madly in love with this next one. I mean, I'm talking about knowledge consumed by you. All you got to do is go right over there